Well, howdy-ho, Stampers. Deb Valder here, your Fun Stampers Journey Coach, and today I'm going to show you how to do a Dutch door card. The only thing that I can think of, if you don't know what a Dutch door is, do you remember watching Wilbur, you know, the horse that used to talk to his owner? I'm just dating myself here, but Wilbur, he always was out of a Dutch door. It's where the door opens on top if you want. There's a line in the middle and the bottom doesn't have to be opened, or you can open up the bottom and not the top. It's the neatest little thing ever. But this is called a Dutch door card because it kind of looks like that, all right? So you can do it a couple of different ways. This is the way the card opens. It opens like this and then like this. But if you want, you can take and you can open it like this and like this. And what I like about this is that you can put a little gift card right in here if you want to, or up here if you want to. It's just a really cute little opening card. So I did this for both of them, and these, if you don't recognize the stamp sets, any of you that did the FSJ Presents, that's where you get the kit in the mail, and we go live virtually for about, I don't know, like I don't know, 6-7 hours. It's so much fun. Anyway, these are the stamp sets that were in there with them, and the designer paper. You get so much product in those. So look for the very next FSJ Presents, because it's just a magnificent program. So anyway, with this one right here, I did this also with my team, and I showed them how to do the Dutch door card, and they had to go back. So what they did was they kind of got the guts to it, like this stuff right here. They got this in the mail, and then they had to design their own card to it. And right now I have a challenge going on. So whoever wins that challenge, all of us will vote on it. And the one who gets the most votes will actually get a $25 gift certificate. So it's just kind of a fun little challenge with a cute little folded card. And I'm going to show you what to do. Some of the other cards that we did in the FSJ Present. So we didn't do these, okay? These are the cards that we did in the FSJ Present. So when you're all done, you get the cards and the envelopes and everything with these, all right? And then there were two more, so those are two of them, and these are with the stamp set that I used today to finish up this card. All right, so these are the cards that came with that set. Let me just show you the stamps that we got. I just think it's so awesome. So this is a sneak peek at the Spring Botanicals. These will be available January 1st, 2018. So this is the Spring Botanicals. It's absolutely gorgeous. Here's the Storybook Occasions, so adorable, and then Everyday Script. So they're just absolutely beautiful. And then, to boot, is our quality cardstock right here. This is our paper prints, and this one is called Spring-Filled Prints. They're just absolutely gorgeous, as you saw on these cards. All right, so now let me just show you what is involved with this. We have our card pieces right here, all right? So I want to show you how I cut my paper. The first piece right here is 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. So what I did was I took my 8 1/2 inch piece of paper going this way, all right? And I cut it at 4 1/4, and then I had enough for 4 1/4, and then what was left over is our bottom piece right here. So you can actually get 1 1/2 cards out of one sheet of cardstock. You know I'm always trying to get the most for your money. So that's the way to cut your cardstock. Don't cut it down at 4 1/4 the long way, because then you're just going to have little pieces at the bottom. So take a long piece of paper, one that's like this long, okay, 4 1/4, 4 1/4, and then you have that little strip left over just for this little piece down here. And this little piece right here is 2 1/2 by 8 1/2, okay? So, and it's actually scored at 2 1/4, I believe. Let me just check and see that. What I did was a 2 1/8. So you're going to go over and you're going to score it 2 1/8, and you're going to go over and you're going to score it 2 1/8. And then what I want you to do when you're pushing it together, when you're putting it together, before you make your big creases with your crease tool, make sure that you get them so that they touch exactly to each other, because otherwise you're going to see your white piece of cardstock in between there. So you might have to force it just a little bit. Now, what we're going to do, so this is this piece right here is 4 1/4 by 8 1/2, and it's scored at 5 1/2. So when you fold it over, it's just got that little piece right there, and then like I said, this piece goes right there perfectly. All right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to add this piece. This card is so easy. You know, people, I do really simple cards most of the time, not always, but most of the time. So I'm going to take my because this is an interactive card, I do like to use my white liner tape, and I'm just going to put that on there like that on both sides, and grab my crease tool here. and lay this at the bottom, okay? Now what I like to do is to close the flap, okay? And then you want to butt it up as close to this as you can, making sure that it goes from side to side. Now you'll notice I'm not putting it on the back. I want this back to be beautiful and smooth. I have it on the inside and everything is nice and even. Now if you have a little edge like I do right here, you can either trim it off or you can take your Grand Pro shears and just trim it off. Trim it off at the bottom like this. Like I said, you can take your trimmer also, but I like having everything exactly the way it should be, all right? You can't even tell. But now everything lines up perfectly, all right? So the next thing that we're going to do is to take our inside piece, which is this one right here, and we're going to add our inside piece. And the reason we do this, like I said, is to hide that seam right there. So now I'm just going to lay this on here like this. Okay, and look at the back is beautiful, the front is beautiful, everything works. See, I love that, absolutely love that. All right, so on my blog I will give you all the measurements for this also, but we're going to take our next layer. Now this is where they got to be creative, all right? So what I did was I gave them all of these pieces right here, and then not the designer paper, but I gave them all of these pieces right here, and I told them to just do what you have to do to make this as gorgeous as possible. Now, I wanted to show you that you could also take and emboss it. So some of them have been embossing them. It's really fun to watch what they're coming up with and creating with just the card pieces that they have. So let's just grab our Easy Glide right here. And put that right here on the top. Okay, and this is just a 1/4 inch smaller than the ones down here. Now here's my two bottom pieces. Okay. Alrighty, there's those. And then I just cut some designer paper, a quarter of an inch smaller than that. And I'm going to add that to it. Again, this video was about the mechanics of this card, but I'm going to tell you right now that what I'm doing this with, the stamps and the paper, I can't wait for you to get the new Bloom This Way catalog in your hands. They are just, this catalog is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And you can tell just by the stamp sets that we're using. Alrighty, so here's my pieces right here. Now, we can take, let me just grab my Bloom tool, and I'm going to change the little piece on here because I can. And I'm just going to get out my little spatula. Okay, so I'll take off the brush and add my little spatula. I have a whole videotape on this, so if you don't know what I'm doing right here, you can just go watch my YouTube video on this. And what I do is I just stick that underneath there, and look at how easy this comes up with my little spatula. Like I said, this tool has 7 tools in it. All right, so these were my Journey ovals right here. These were my Journey ovals, and I just used the perforator to make it look even prettier. I cut out the stamped piece, and this I stamped this from that stamp set of, oh, it's just so pretty. It is called Spring Botanicals, and I just stamped that, cut it out, and like I said, this isn't about the design of it's more of the mechanics of this card. All right, so I'm just kind of going through this. Now, the part that I was explaining to them is you can put your images up here. You can put your images, you know, this way or this way, and I think I showed you that in some of my samples. Let me just grab my samples back out again. I put that one going the long way, and I put this one going this way right here. And what's nice about that is that it helps it hold it down so that, you know, like when you open it up, it just helps hold the lid down. All right, so let's just grab this again, because I'm going to take and pop this up on the top. I'm going to use some of our Journey foam squares, and I'm only putting them on the top because I don't want to glue the thing shut, obviously. Okay, put it right there like that. And then I'm going to take some of our, right here, these are our, let me just take it out and show you here. These are paper flowers, and these are called Spring Kisses. So here's the leaf, here is the flower, and what they are is they're just like felted flowers and leaves, and you can paint them if you want, and that's what I did on this card right here. I actually painted that leaf. So let me show you how I did that. I'm going to take my old block, and I'm going to take some of my, this is new for Fun Stamper's Journey, this is called liquid color, and it's water soluble, so we can paint with it, we can use it with water, we can use it straight on. All right, so I'm just going to take some of that. Now this is going to be wet. I don't think it'll stick to my project yet, but it doesn't take that long to dry because it's really neat little, it's some really neat flowers. They're just paper. And I'm just going to take, and it does dry lighter, all right? So I'm just going to take and color my flowers with one of our blending brushes. So I've got an old block. I've got some of our liquid color, and this one is the bubble gum. I'm coloring my flowers. Okay, there we go. Now, what I'm going to do is let that dry, but I also want to add some of our sparkle silk to it to make it nice and shiny, or not shiny, but sparkly. All right, so I'm just going to add that over the top, and it all dries a lot lighter than it is right here. All right, it's just so pretty. I'm going to show you the finished one just so that you can see, because I really don't think that I'm going to be able to glue this on yet because it is still a little bit wet. But I would take my journey dots right here, and I would add them to like this right here, and then add that to the card. Where do I want this? I want this maybe right over here this time. All right, this is going to go right there in the middle, okay? And then I'm going to put on a little pearl. So let me just grab my pearls. I'm going to put a pearl in the middle of that also. This is a really blingy little card, but it's so cute. Oops, there we go. You notice how much I use this tool, all right? And then this, when it's dried, will go right there. So when it's finished, it'll look something like this one right here. Isn't that adorable? Look at that card. Look at those papers. Look at those stamps. Isn't that awesome? It's called a Dutch door card. It's so adorable. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll have all the measurements on my blog. Please stop by often. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube videos, and right next to it there's a little bell. Make sure you click on that little bell because that will get you firsthand anything that I upload. All right? Take care. Have a great day, and thanks for stopping by.